All right, all right. What's going on, party people? This your man Griff. Okay. Um, one of the questions that has been coming up privately, people have been hitting me up privately as well as publicly, is about the fact that they are signing up with signing companies, all the different ones, signature, snap docs, signing order, so forth and so on. But for whatever reason, they're not getting orders. Now, I've talked about this in other videos that I've done. And here's what's going on. And this is one of the things that I've been trying to stress. The issue, well, let me just give you a little, let me go back and give you some history so you can sort of understand. Back in 2020, when things really popped, as well as 2021, there were a lot of notaries that were just straight up jacking stuff up. They weren't doing things right. They was doing all kinds of legal stuff, so forth and so on. If you're signed up with Signature Closers, you received the email today talking about notaries making all of these different mistakes. There's tons and tons of mistakes being made out there by notaries. So those mistakes have caused a lot of companies to tighten their grip on who gets what orders. Now, you say, well, Griff, you keep saying sign up for these companies. Yes, because what I'm believing that can happen or should happen is that once you sign up with the companies and they start pushing those other notaries out of the way, when they give you an opportunity, you'll be able to step up to the plate. Granted, they got to give you the opportunity. And this is why I've been saying all along is that it's not so much the marketing and the training that notaries need, it's the opportunity. You need the opportunity in order to go out here and grow your business. Thing rolling all over the place. That's what you need. Right now, trying to work direct with some title companies is can be very difficult because they're limited on the orders that they're getting. Working with the signing companies can also provide you great opportunities if that signing company is connected to people who are doing work in your area. And that is the key thing. A lot of the signing companies probably, and I've talked about this, have pigeonholed themselves into only working with certain types of title companies. And then those title companies may have pigeonholed themselves to only work with certain types of lenders. So if you have a title company who is only working with lenders that are brokers, and those brokers only do refinances, and the interest rate has gone up as we see from 2 3% to 7%, and possibly in some cases 8%, depending on that person's credit score. Those brokers aren't going to be able to give the consumers good deals, and consumers are going to do what? I'm not refinancing. The refinancing that some are doing, like I have one for, I think in 2 days, they just sent me the documents. They're at a 5.5% interest rate. They must have really good credit, and I think they're paying some points and things of that nature to get that stuff down. That's why I talked about that mortgage buy down. So if the companies are aligned with right people, in other words, the title company is aligned with the correct lender or broker or whoever that has their hands, their tentacles in other areas, then there'll be more business. The problem is, depending on where you live, you might not be getting as many orders because there's not that many opportunities because either the title signing companies are connected to title companies who are connected to lenders who don't really have any business, or it's too many notaries, and by the time an order does get down to you, or could have even gotten down, you don't even have a chance even for it to get down to you because other people are taking them. Now, the thing is that there are a lot of people coming into the business sort of after the fact. And this is one of the things I've talked about many, many times. You still have these notary gurus out here marketing the business as if you can make all this money. And if you really think about it, most people don't even get to see my videos or come across me till probably a month or so after they start looking into this here business because what? They end up seeing those other people's videos because of their algorithms and marketing and all this, that, and the other. And they're like, okay, yeah, I see this. And you see these old videos of people bragging about how much money they made. You get inundated with that. You get all woo by that. And next thing you know, you're like, where's my money? I don't see it. I don't see it. You come across me. I'm trying to talk more practical. Here's what the deal is. And the two, what you heard in the beginning and what you're hearing now, seems like oil and water. They really don't mix. You're like, okay, well, so what's the deal? The deal is many companies, they have not aligned themselves in the proper way so they can keep business coming in. However, those that have, and we don't know the ones who have, to be honest with you, they have and they got business coming in. The problem that they're faced with right now is that they have notaries who are tearing stuff up, who are messing things up. That's why I did that video about the document force, making sure they sign saying that they received a copy of the documents. So you have notaries who aren't following instructions, and that's why I keep sharing with y'all to craft your profile in such a way as to communicate that you understand that it's important for you to follow instructions, that you will do this, that, and the other. I have a video out there called Your Profile Will Separate You From Them. That's all you got to do. On YouTube, search Griffin Notary Profile, and you'll see the video in there. Or go to my Notary Basic playlist, and you'll see it in there. That video helps you to understand what they're looking for, what you need to communicate to them. They need more than I'm a good notary, I got a printer, this, that, and the other. They need to know that I understand what to do as a notary. I understand the importance of following your directions. You need to communicate that even though you have not seen their directions, they need to know that you understand that there are directions that they need to follow. And you need to communicate that. You don't need to beg, but you need to communicate that you understand those things. When the opportunity comes, in most cases right now, you just need to say yes to it. Hopefully they'll assign it to you, and then you go do it and execute it well. Now, that goes to the point of, what do you do once you get the order? You're there to notarize the signatures. Make sure you understand how to do that correctly. Too many notaries are getting caught up in, again, trying to explain the documents, trying to showboat and showcase their document knowledge, and then they don't do the part that they are commissioned to do correctly, which is notarize those signatures. They're messing up the notarization area. They're doing things that is just wrong and illegal in a lot of cases, and that's causing problems. So those people who are causing problems is making folk timid about hiring you. Now, I've also said this multiple times. If you took training from some particular individual or individuals, you need to be aware that the people before you and after you who took training with them same people, they might be doing some very foul things. And not every signing company cares for every notary trainer out there. So even though that person or persons may be popular, they might be up there pop locking and doing all this and TikToking and all that kind of stuff and showing off this, with that, and the other. There are companies that don't care for them. So I advise you, in my opinion, and you do what you want, you probably need to refrain from putting the fact that, oh, I took training from this person, because you don't realize that there are notaries out there who are doing some really bad things, and they're claiming, I took training from so-and-so. And there are owners of the company saying, don't select anybody with that training. If they got that training, we don't even want to mess with them because we're not taking a chance. Is that fair? I can't tell you. It may or may not be. It's fair to them for that company because they're protecting their vested interests, which is their clients. It might not be fair to you because it's hurting you because you want to tell everybody who you took, which you think that's going to make a difference in getting you work. And it could if the people who had taken training before you and after you weren't out there doing foolish things. But they are. And that's just the truth of the matter. So why companies aren't selecting you? A lot of times they have a list of preferred notaries. They might have 10, 15, 20 in a particular area. And they just, boom, I'm going with them. Because those individuals, in a lot of cases, took my advice and other people's advice who know what the deal is, and just went out there and took orders and established themselves with that company by doing good work and being available. That's all I did. When I started in 2018 and in 2019, I was just taking any and everything. I didn't question it. I just went out there and did it because I was trying to get my numbers up, because I learned early on in this business, if I can get my numbers up, that's all they really care about. And I was told that, but they were like, we just care that you got some experience. So the only way to get experience is just to do it. And then with me being able to just put that in the notary, I mean, not notary assist, but SnapDocs, because of that algorithm, boom. As well as taking orders and signing order, boom. But if you don't take anything, and right now you're like, yeah, I want to take something, but nothing's being offered, that becomes the problem. That's the conundrum that we're in right now. So again, nobody can't promise anything, but what I would say this, the only thing that I can't, nobody can promise that by doing all of the stuff that I've said and other people have said, that you're going to get orders, because each company operates different. And I've heard and I've sat in on meetings, Zoom meetings and stuff, and the company owners have just flat out said they've been hurt too bad. They've been hurt greatly. They've been hurt tremendously by notaries. And matter of fact, I didn't want to make this video too long, but I think I need to do this here. Okay, this here is what the signature closers came out with the company called Closing USA Loan Depot. It said Closing USA and Loan Depot have identified quality control items that are items they are concerned about. Due to the lower volume, their QC department has had ample time to do a complete review of closing packages. Below are a few reminders they would like you to be mindful of. The closing package return. Signed closing packages must be dropped by the notaries and attorneys the same day as the closing or next day. Closing USA must receive the signed packages within 24 hours. So what does that tell you? And keep this in mind. How do I use this to jimmy up my profile? They're telling you that the notaries, and since we're not attorneys, but the notaries as well as attorneys are not dropping the documents off the same day or the next day. That's a bullet point that you can use in your profile. Stacking order. It is imperative that you stack the executed documents in the order set out in their closing instructions. Okay, so they have a particular way that they want these documents to be sent back. My personal opinion, and I've said this before, I don't know why they just can't send us the documents in the order that they want. I mean, it will be simpler that if you want the documents to come back in this order, then send them to us in that order, because they have the documents and they can put them in that order, rather than, okay, we're going to just give them to you any old kind of way. Now, notaries fumble through the documents and pull this document out, pull that document out, and stack it the way we want it. To me, they need to send it to us in the manner in which they want it, leave it in that way, and we can send it back in that way, and that will be much more time efficient. Okay, especially when you're scrambling trying to hurry up and get the orders sent back, either scanning it, or and then sometimes you don't have to scan it, but just dropping it off. You're trying to meet the FedEx or UPS deadline. Work with us and help us out by sending it to us the way it needs to be. Okay, so it says it is imperative that you stack the executed documents in the order set out in their closing instructions. Several blasts have been sent out in the past on this specific issue, yet the problem persists. Closing USA vendor will continue tracking notaries who do not adhere to this procedure and will request a fee reduction as needed. And see that right there, and personally, and I know they might be saying this isn't fair, because y'all can actually put the document together in the manner in which it should be done. Okay, because they want title affidavits, quick claim deeds and transfer forms, mortgage and deed, the note, then the closing disclosure. They want those at the top. Give it to us that way. We can give it back to you that way. You should not be sticking all of that stuff toward the back or all throughout the thing and then want us to give it to you. That's not fair, period. Then they have something in here for New York affidavit stuff. I'm not going to mess with that part. Closing USA is seeing an influx of notary areas. Please be sure you are reviewing the documents before the closing and reach out to them with any questions after rather than filling out forms incorrectly. In addition, please be sure you review the documents thoroughly before shipping to ensure all necessary forms and documents are completed, dated, and signed to avoid extra time needed to obtain corrections. I agree, but the thing is, if you get me the documents late and I'm trying to hurry up and get there, I don't have time some days to actually review. I mean, it's hard. Okay. So, yes, it's a lower volume, but if you're getting me the documents late, just like before I hopped on to do this video, I had just sent an email out asking, where's the documents for my 10 a.m.? And they're like, oh, we're going to follow up with title. I'm like, and this has been happening more and more that I've been having to reach out to the signing company asking them, where's the documents? Should there be something in place on their end that indicates that, hey, we don't, we got basically any closing that's between, say, 11 and, by, starting from 11 on earlier, we need to make sure we have the documents by this date or this time so that the notary can have time to review. And see, that's another reason why I'm up late at night sometimes reviewing documents, because I don't get them until late anyway. So I go ahead on to stay up, review them. I mean, this is what my full-time gig is, and that's what I do. But these are things that you can put in your, or tweak in your profile to say that you understand and that you review your documents. You understand the documents need to be dropped off within, the same day or first thing the next day, all of that. Got it. The stacking thing, that one, they're the only ones who do this. And that one, that's an easy fix, because they can have a template already laid out for their documents and put it in the order that it needs to be in, send it to us. And I know I'm repeating myself, send it to us, and then boom. But they're thinking that we have time to always review this stuff, and a lot of times we don't. You don't have time. You get the documents, boom, you got to run and get to them people, because to them they may say, well, you just need to review the documents before you go. But if I'm going to be 15, 20, 30 minutes late, that might mess that couple's time up. You see what I'm saying? And then I got other orders that I got to do, or I got to hurry up and get it to UPS. I may not have time to get it and put it and grab these documents and pull them out. And yes, I know they're thinking that, oh, okay, well, while you're doing it, you can get it. It doesn't always work that way. That's just being truthful with you. Didn't expect this video to be this long. The bottom line is this. When the opportunities come, you got to be willing to hop on it. But you also got to take time out and look in your area. So in the description of this video, if you stayed around to the end, in the description of this video, is going to be a link to a website called reventure.app. When you go to that website, you will be able to look in your area and see the number of houses, I think loan applications submitted. You'll be able to get an idea of what's going on in your area, for as houses being sold, purchased, the median house income, what's the percent of people's income going toward their mortgage, because anything over 30%, it makes it harder. So if the mortgage rates are high, the rent rates are low, people going to be more likely to rent. If you got mortgage rates are low, well, you ain't got that, hopefully. But even if you got interest rates, being high, and then the mortgage, and then the house prices are high, people still not going to buy. So there's a stalemate going on right now. And all I'm trying to do is help y'all get prepared for when it breaks. That's where a lot of people talk about the general notary work. This is where the marketing comes in. Market yourself for the general notary work. Go out there and let people know. Go by the nursing homes, daycare centers, adoption agencies, so forth and so on. And let them know that, hey, I can do this for you. I can be here for you. Sometimes you might have to cut a deal. Yes, for the nursing home, no travel fee. I'll come out, get you taken care of. Because you never know. They might have a will. They might have an attorney that may need you. If you're in a closing, if you do get a closing and you're there with an attorney, may have to slide them that business card. I talk about my business. People, you go in such a professional way, they get inquisitive. So you do this all the time? Yeah. if they ask me, well, yes, I do this full time. I do it for attorneys, doctors, chiropractors. Well, chiropractic does the same thing, but medical doctors and then chiropractic doctors. I do notarizations for adoptions, so forth, and you give them a quick idea. Oh, you do all of that, because some notaries have said, a little history lesson, I only do mortgages. This is what I was told back in 2018 and 2019 when I first got in. Oh, can you do? Yeah, I can do that. Well, the other notaries was telling us they're only allowed to do mortgages. The reason why the notaries didn't want to do that other stuff, aka general notary, because they felt that it didn't pay them enough, and they left a lot of money on the table. And I've been in signings where somebody say, "Hey, well, I have this document for my 401k. Can you notarize that for me?" Yeah, sure. Because once the signing is over, I'm off the clock with them. I've done my part, and now I'm on my time. Okay, cool. Boom. Now they came to me and asked me, and I'm like, why would I turn them down? Sure. Okay. Bam. Boom. And they pay me. Sometimes they tip or whatever the case may be. If you can take tips in your state, find out your state law. But these are different ways that you can let people know if you're a Ron notary, and if somebody asks you about your business, and you got to come across professional, looking professional, all of that. They'll ask you, oh, so how's things been with the mortgage industry? I'm like, yeah, it's been a little slow, but things are coming along real good. I do the mortgages, and I do stuff online because there's some people who can't get out, so I'm able to meet them online. Oh, you can do it online. See, you don't free marketing, people, free. This is how you let people know. I can't do it, but I told y'all I'll be in a line, and I have both my phones. This would be pretend my phone, and I have both my phones out, and people be like, "Oh man, you got two phones. You must be important." Well, I'm a notary, and I get a lot of orders that come through quick, so I have one for my calendar, and then one for my for the to receive the orders, and then I check my calendar to make sure that I can accommodate them. Oh, so you're mobile? Yeah, I'm mobile, and I go. So where do you go? Eastern Shore, Suffolk, and I always say deep parts of Suffolk, Chesapeake, Franklin, Virginia. Oh, so you go all over? Yeah. And I said, and if for some reason I can't reach them, I can always, do things online. If the people who want to receive the document, if they don't mind, getting it e-notarized, whoever's going to be it's being sent to, then I can do that for them. You see how quick that was? Just that quick. Started a conversation, and then if you got your notary gear on, your shirt, hat, whatever your case may be, that's all you do. You just say, yeah, I'm a mobile notary. I just go around taking care of people, making sure that the documents that they have to sign are notarized properly and everything. And then they're like, oh, okay. So what don't you notarize? Well, I don't notarize this, that, and the other. Okay, but anything. So what if somebody came with you a handwritten note? Well, if it's a handwritten note for something, yes, I can attach a certificate to that, and I would explain to them, okay, based off of, do you want a jurat or do you want this? And I would explain to them the difference, because they will have to select what certificate needs to go on there. Oh, okay. They may not understand, but they see that you know what you're doing, and then that gives them confidence in you, and you never know who they may know. And I've gotten a lot of business this way. But you got to do something. You got to stay. And I understand it's frustrating. I understand it is very, very frustrating. And I share what's going on with me, because I want you to see that if you commit yourself to this, when the opportunities come, you have no choice but to get opportunities when things are slow. And then when things are slow and all the other notaries done booked up out of here, and they come to you and you say, yeah, I can do this for you. Bam. And they give you the opportunity also. And when you get it, then you can run with it. But you got to know what you're doing as a notary. That's key. And you got to be able to communicate that with them. You just can't have that plain, bland notary thing of, I got a print, I got a stamp, and I'm good to go. Woo woo. No, you got to be able to communicate to them that they can have confidence in you, that you don't do those bad things that those other notaries do. I'm just serious. You can't. This ain't about being nice. First episode of what our podcast was. Everybody loves everybody. Like, okay, nah, this is business. We got to get out here and hustle. And I don't do those things like those other notaries do. If them people call me, I said, look, no, I don't do that. They even went about general notary. I said, I don't upcharge. I don't charge convenience fees. And a lot of notaries probably don't like that, but yeah, I don't charge convenience fees. Whatever the state says I'm supposed to charge you, that's what I charge you. I don't charge you convenience fee for me coming out to you at 7 in the morning or this, that, and the other. What the state says is what I do. Deal with it, notaries. This is business. So I'm going to do what I got to do. Now, if anybody wants to do less than me, that means you're going to have to go less than the $5 and this, that, and the other. Okay, more power to you. I'm happy for you. I won't be getting that business because my fees is $5 per stamp, which is the max that the state says I can do face to face, 25 online. And if I'm going out face to face, I can charge them a travel fee. We agree on the travel fee. If I'm doing it online, there are no technology fees that I can charge in Virginia, unless somebody can tell me different. But I have not seen that I can do that. So I don't charge all those kind of fees. Now, if somebody wants to give me a tip, more power to them. Doesn't say I can't, my state law doesn't say I can't accept a tip. That's on them. I record it properly, keep it going. These are things that you can do. Don't get frustrated, okay? It is easy to get frustrated. I've been frustrated. But you got to keep your eyes on the prize, and you got to protect your ear gates from what people are saying that's just, where they're lying to you, because there's some people out here lying. And you're going to be fine. I'm doing everything I can to help you, to point you in the right direction. But you got to make sure you understand your real estate market. And if you do, then you'll be able to see, oh, okay, I might have to travel out. Last point. Young lady that I came across, she's down in Tallahassee, Florida. Various notaries I've talked to from Tallahassee, they all struggling. She's popping it. She's doing 30 a month part-time and about to go full-time because she's about to lose her job. So she called me asking for some advice. Talked to her, and I didn't realize she was in Tallahassee, but one of the things she told me was she doesn't have problems traveling out. So I think it's like 6 or 7 counties around Tallahassee, or little boroughs or whatever they call them, and she goes to all of those. So she said, yeah, I have to drive a little bit, but I'm getting work. So now she's hitting all of those other areas outside of Tallahassee, where she says she knows notaries as well as I do that said, no, they're not doing all that driving. So now they just limited themselves, and now she's expanded, and she's going out here doing what she needs to do part-time while working a full-time job. Just imagine what she'll be able to do when she goes full-time. That's what I'm talking about. She should be able to do fine and keep getting business, okay? I don't know what else to say, and I've said this many times. That's why I'm just dedicating this video about that and nothing else about all of this. This is a part of business. That's really what I can say. This is how businesses run. Whether you're running a Walmart or mom and pop, grocery store, gas station, haircutting, whatever. This is a part of it. And we got to, as they say when we was a little kid, at least when I was a kid, put on your thinking cap and identify problem areas and then come up with a solution. Here's a problem area for these people that may need a notary. Here's a solution. That's what you have to do. You got to do those things and be willing to travel. I traveled today, good little ways. I was given an opportunity to do an order for a guy. Somebody called me and said, hey, can you, matter of fact, it was Ebony from Notary Connects. She's like, hey, there's an order. Can you go down there and take care of him? Yeah, $40. No problem. Went down there, got him taken care of, made $40. Did my travel fee plus that. And it was right in line with my travel fee. So that plus the one signature, I'm like, okay, boom. $5 for the signature, $35 for the travel. Bam. And I got me a good customer now because he didn't even know that he could find anybody. And guess what? He lives in Suffolk, Virginia, and he Googled notary near me in Suffolk and got nobody. And I said, well, you got me now. So I will come out there to you in Suffolk. He said, bet. Because he got some court case going on and he needed help with that. And I was able to accommodate him. This is what it's about, people. Okay? Y'all have a good one. Talk to y'all later. Peace.